Hello YouTubers, I'm just here making a little video, like a report about the last week's events. I am now in Luleå, the hometown, my old hometown, where I lived up until March 2006. And I'm visiting my mother, and I've also been visiting some friends, and well, just enjoyed the northern Swedish beauty. But I will go back in a couple of days, but I thought, well, why not make a little video here now when I have some time now in the evening. What have I been doing? Well, first of all, I went and visited a friend of mine who has a book and a bookstore here in Luleå. He recently opened it. I brought some bottles of the soft drink Leninade to him, and you can see what they look like here. I got some records from him too, and then I went and visited my another old friend, Andreas Falkis 1984. I had some gifts for him, some records, and he liked them, and I was given this thing by him, and it's a very nice idler wheel to a garage record player, because I told him that the idler wheel in my garage was a bit noisy. So let's see if I can switch idler wheels later when I get back. Well, what more? Yeah, I think probably the highlight of this visit was a trip to central Luleå, where they have been having this the Hamnkalaset, or the Harbor Festival, with different events for all people, concerts, lots of different events. And one of the concerts was on this Saturday evening, a concert with a French Tunisian singer, Amina Annabi. And those who have been closely following my channel, you know that I'm a great fan of Amina Annabi, so it was a great treat to see her live. I've been a great fan of her for 25 years. Oh, it's a bit it's a bit scary to talk about those kinds of times. 25 years, and now I finally got to see her live, and she was amazing, still amazing. So I'm so happy about that. And well, I'm going to cut over to myself now. Earlier today, well, I've just been to Kronan here in Luleå, my regular places for record hunting nowadays. There aren't that many of them, and who knows how long I'll find any at all here. Got an ice hole here in my bag today, and I will show you that. So I got some records out there at Kronan, so I thought I'm going to show them for you. Many of these I haven't heard, these artists, but I thought they seemed a bit interesting, because these are the kinds of artists you rarely find here in Sweden, not even in Stockholm. Lots of American imports here. The first one is B.W. Stevenson, lead free or lead free. Not sure which it is, but it's an RCA record. I think it's his second album from early 70s, country rock. BW stands for buckwheat, from what I've heard, although I don't think it was his real name. A record with the British singer, guitar player John Renbourn. This is a reissue. The original was issued in 1966, but this is a reissue on Sanctuary from this year, so somebody wasn't too happy about this purchase and handed it into the second-hand record store that I got it. So I look forward to listen to this, because I know that the original isn't that easy to get hold of. Then we have the Chuck Rainey Coalition, and of course I think many of you know who Chuck Rainey is. Great bass player, and I thought that I haven't heard or seen any solo albums by him before, so I thought, well, now when I found one, I'm getting it. On the Kama Sutra label we have here the Innocence, and not 100% sure what this is, but I think we are in the psychedelic era, in the late 60s, and well, we get songs like Mercy Dote, so that shows that I'm probably quite right there. Well, as I said, I haven't listened to it yet, but I will when I get home. Then we have another artist that I'm not very familiar with, Steve Noonan, but it is an issue on Electro label, early 70s or late 60s maybe even. See, it doesn't say, but it has this tan Electro label that you can see. So look forward to listen to that. This I bought because of the great title here, and I think this might be interesting. It's also on Elektra. Marlin Green, Tiptoe Past the Dragon. Looks like this. And this is from 1972. We have a typical import cutout here. Then I think this is in the country field. Austin, I almost said Austin Powers. No, it's Austin Roberts, and I haven't checked him out yet, but looks very interesting. It's Dynaflex, and it's on a label called Chelsea. Not too familiar with, but it looked interesting, and it's arranged by Jimmy Haskell, so that's a good sign. Then we have on the Big Tree label, Lenny LeBlanc, Hound Dog Man. I don't know that much about this either, but it seems to be country rock here too. On the Big Tree label, looks like this. Early 70s, I think. Or no, wait, mid 70s, 76. To move those to the end. The next one, though, I am a bit more familiar with. It is Bobby Whitlock, one of a kind. It's on the Capricorn Records label. Bobby Whitlock, of course. I would mainly say that he's mainly known for well, Derek and the Dominos, one of the great super rock bands of the time, and this is one of his solo albums. I'm very happy I found that. Well, let's see now. Let's take those first. The next couple here is a couple that I don't really know anything about. They're called Hedge and Donna. I've been googling them. They seem to have some sort of appreciation group on YouTube, but I don't know that much more about them, other than that this is some sort of folk pop. We got great musicians. We got the drummer Ron Tutt on this, and it's on Polydor. I think they were married, This record is called Evolution. I thought that this, it says it's revolution with the R crossed over. I thought that somebody had just crossed over the R, but it's part of the sleeve. It's supposed to look like that because it says Evolution on the rest of the sleeve and on the label as well. So I look forward to listen to this. Sleeve's a bit tatty, but the record's in very good condition. Okay, I found the last time I went to Luleå and went to the same store at Kronan. I found an album by Don Nix. I didn't know that much about him back then, but I've been reading up about him and I've been listening a lot to that record, and I've been enjoying it a lot. This is another of his albums. It's a later one. It's called Gone Too Long from 1976. It's on the Cream label. Many labels here that I really haven't seen before, and I think that's a bit exciting as well. Alright, some more folk pop singing, folk pop singer-songwriter. We got Michael Stanley. This is his, I think it's his first album. It's from 1973 on the Tumbleweed Records Incorporated label. Not too familiar of him, but I've been reading up a bit about him, so I know that he made some records. Oh, I see that he's made Subterranean Homesick Blues. Does he claim that he's written that? No, it says written by Bob Dylan. It says all songs written by Michael Stanley, and then I see the title Subterranean Homesick Blues, and then yeah, underneath it says written by Bob Dylan. Yeah. I thought I found something interesting there. Right, mostly Americans here. Now we're going to have a look at an Australian called Digby Richards, and he was one of the first rock stars in Australia, from what I've read, and this is, well, late in the 70s. Like many rock stars, it turned into more of a country, and this is an album from 1974. It's just called Digby Richards. It's recorded in the United States with such great musicians like Joe Osborne, Jim Gordon and Jim Keltner. Yeah. So I thought this would be interesting. This is an interesting sticker that they put here. Records are a sound purchase. And yes, of course it is. It's a very sound purchase, but you shouldn't put it here because I can't see the titles of the songs on side one now. And you can't peel it off because this is in no way laminated. So, well, I have to check on the label if I want to check what the songs are called. Right, Digby Richards. And then I'm going to show you two, yeah, this is quite fun, two albums with the Japanese hard rock band Bow Wow. This is Charge, I think it's from 1977. It still has the OB strip here, OBI strip, you know what I mean. And then we have Asian Volcano. You never really see these, and I was very surprised to find them, especially here in Luleå. But that is one thing that I find quite often when I go to that place at Kronan, that I found these really odd records. These are quite odd records, and these are definitely odd records to find here. Right, the last three records that I'm going to show you I found at Antik and Samlarshoppen some days earlier when I met Torbjörn there. First, well, this is well, Latin, easy listening, bossa nova with Manuel and the Music of the Mountains. Okay, maybe not too exciting, but I think it's worth a listen, and a very nice sleeve. And then Pete and Papa, Tough Times. And these Pete and Papa, they were I think they're Swedish singers, and they've made some sort of blues rock here, and they are accompanied by the elite of Swedish musicians. We have Mats Westman on guitar, Kjell Öhman on organ, Jan Bergman bass, Johan Stengård on saxophone, Dave Castle on saxophone, Lasse Samuelsson on trumpet. Great musicians, so I bet that the arrangements will be very nice on this one. The funny thing, this is issued on a label called Typhoon, that almost exclusively issued records in the dance band style, and they probably sold much more, because even though I've heard about this record for many years, I haven't really seen it until now. So, but now I found it, and it's, even if the sleeve's a bit tatty, the record is fine. And the last, and maybe the best finding in my book anyway, is Robbie Basho, Venus in Cancer. I don't know if you're familiar with Robbie Basho, but he was a great guitar player. He had a very unique style with very interesting tunings when he played his guitar. As a hobby guitar player, I find that very interesting, how he can tune guitars differently and create new sounds. And well, there are some nudity here, so well, this is, he made many records, and this is on Blue Thumb, a very interesting label in my book, although I think this is the only one he made for Blue Thumb, and I'm very happy I found it. It isn't in great condition, but it looks as if it's in enjoyable condition that you actually can enjoy. So that's about it for me for this time. That's my report from Luleå, and thanks for watching, and have a great